Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, welcome to the Federal Institute for Music Research, Russian Heritage. My name is Hans-Joachim Timbre, from Reihe here, and on behalf of the director Thomas Erpelt, I herewith open the international workshop on Timbre. The Institute has a long interdisciplinary tradition. In June it will celebrate its 100th anniversary, so it's our pleasure to also host the Timbre workshop this year. The Institute comprises the Musical Instruments Museum, a historical department and an acoustical department. Here several facilities such as the Musicological Library, 2 concert halls, a sound studio, an anechoic chamber and a restoration workshop are united under one roof and may, as a particularity, all be used for research purposes. One current major topic all departments contribute to is research and musical performance, and in both the systematic and the historic dimension. The building was designed by the famous architects Hans Scharoun and Edgar Wisniewski, just like the nearby Berlin Philharmonie. Before we start, just a few organizational notes. You need access to the internet. You may use our wireless network, SSID and password are written over there. The cafeteria downstairs is open from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And you may visit the exhibition of musical instruments at any time. However, please leave the coats and bags in the lockers. So I wish the workshop to be a great success. I would like to give the floor to my colleague Stefan Weiss.
Yeah, also from my side, welcome to Berlin. I think we are quite happy that almost all of the speakers that we invited made it to Berlin, even if they had a long travel for some of them. So I think when it comes to Timbre, there's a quite concentrated expertise now in the room. And as a head of the audio communication group, that's the logo on the left side, where we focus on the whole audio communication path from sound generation to sound processing to sound perception. We are of course involved with Timbre in different occasions when it comes to musical instruments or machines, when it comes to the properties of rooms, who might modulate Timbre in one or the other way, and of course as a psychological construct. For this workshop, of course, the main thanks go to Kai Siebenburg and ParisTech for organizing the workshop. We also have to thank the German Research Foundation, the DFG, for supporting us. And I wish to everybody inspiring talks, intense discussions, and a nice social program around. And give the microphone to Kai.
In the last 5 years, there have been many important contributions to research on Timbre, including several journal articles, doctoral theses, and books. You might have heard that an Oxford handbook on Timbre is due to appear in 2017. And most of this Timbre momentum seems to emerge from 2 theoretically opposite perspectives. First, the field of music information retrieval, where we see a renewed interest on automatic musical instrument recognition from a biocognitive viewpoint. So the main question is, how can we mathematically and computationally represent sound in a way that mimics physiology and cognition, but still allows efficient computing? more generally, there's a discussion going on, what can MIR learn from psychology? Second, we are witnessing a strong musicological and music theoretical interest on timbre. What are the conceptions and experiential dimensions of timbre between different periods and music arts? How is timbre situated in non-typical contexts, such as electroacoustic or popular music? These two trends led to small workshops that were organized in Paris in late 2014 with a focus more on music information retrieval, and at Harvard in 2015 with a more clear musicological, music theoretical focus. In the meantime that all this was happening, Kai, who I met at McGill University, was completing his thesis on memory and timbre, and I was applying for a Humboldt Fellowship to come to Berlin and carry out research together with Stefan Weinzer on timbre semantics and conceptual structures. So in late 2015, I think, Kai was in Oldenburg already, and I was planning my move to Berlin. So we independently had the same idea, an interdisciplinary workshop on timbre. It's in the right time to bring together the diverse disciplines and subfields that supplied the latest contributions and create a multifaceted dialogue to help shape future research on timbre. We got Hans-Joachim Mentel and Stefan Weinzel on board and got down to work. We started inviting researchers to present their work, and we were very pleasantly surprised by the enthusiastic and encouraging response of the community, a sign that our idea was well timed. We identified 4 disciplines at the intersection of which the most important timbre questions arise: cognitive neuroscience, psychology, musicology and music theory, forgive me for putting them together if some disagree, and engineering. Our 4 keynotes, as well as the sessions with invited speakers they introduce, have been chosen and designed respectively according to these 4 disciplinary perspectives, a structure that is better reflected in the 4 themes of the workshop: cognitive mechanisms of timbre, timbre perception in musical contexts, concept semantics and the history of timbre, and acoustic modeling of timbre. Yet these 4 themes and the associated sessions were planned to not be monodisciplinary. The overall goal of this workshop is to allow researchers to engage in a discussion which transcends the boundaries of usual academic disciplines. This will be reinforced through the integration of a panel discussion of challenging issues facing the timbre researcher today at the end of the 2nd day of the workshop. The council talks of Emily Dolan, Cornelia Fales, Zachary Walmark, Joachim Anden, and Bruno Giordano would have made this unparalleled meeting of timbre experts even more stimulating and diverse. Nevertheless, interest on timbre does not exhaust itself in academic corridors. Timbre is an important topic in industry, in medicine, and the arts. For example, we have a pretty cool, as Kai put it when we were sketching the opening remarks, list of non-speaker participants. So in the audience here today, there are representatives of major companies in software, audio software and production. There are researchers from medical university departments, also musicians and sound artists. We envision this workshop as a continuation of the Paris and Harvard initiatives, yet also as a more comprehensive attempt to establish a permanent forum for the increasingly diverse but underrepresented timbre community. We are grateful to Stefan Weinzel, who helped us obtain funding from the German Research Foundation, and to Hans-Joachim Mentel, who made it possible for us to host the workshop here at the Berlin Musical Instrument Museum. I think you would all agree that this is an ideal environment for discussing timbre, since musical instruments have historically assumed a leading role in research on timbre. And we would also like to thank the Federal Institute for Music Research for hosting us and for generously providing the posters and printed programs and other infrastructure, as well as Sven Surfling for the technical support. And finally, Fabian Lucas Votschild, who is outside at the reception desk, and David Albanes Bonillo, who will be videotaping the talks, for providing extra hands. We welcome you to the Berlin Interdisciplinary Workshop on Timbre, and we hope that you will make the most out of the next 2 days.
Welcome everybody, it's a great pleasure to see all of you here. So I would like to give you a brief overview of the 2-day program. We have 2 days packed with interesting Timbre talks. Two very interesting days of my life, I think. We start with the first theme this morning, cognitive mechanisms of Timbre, with a keynote by Katharina von Kriegstein. This afternoon we'll have the theme Timbre in musical context, initialized by the keynote of Stephen McAdams. And then tomorrow morning we'll have concept, semantics, and history of Timbre, starting with the keynote of Julia Cossel. And then the afternoon features the session on acoustic modeling of Timbre with a keynote by Geoffroy Peters. And then the scientific part of this workshop closes with a panel discussion where we will have Stephen McAdams here on stage, Munya El-Hilali, Julia Cossel, and Stefan Weinzel. Okay, so a couple, not to forget the closing concert. We're really happy to close the concert with an event in the Folklorsaal upstairs. It's a pretty cool venue. The concert features the music of Michael Hahnberg, who is based in Bern, but currently the Edgar Varese guest professor here at the TU Electronics Studios, who will be responsible for electronics. And also Frank Fiedler on percussion, Ernesto Molinari on a newly developed double bass clarinet. So this should be a really a timbre feast, because this double bass clarinet seems to be really special. You can check it out on the website. You have a kind of advertisement video for this clarinet. Okay, so a couple of practical announcements. I would like to advertise the welcome desk. If you haven't been there, please go. You get your name tag. Please return your name tag when you leave the workshop. For presenters, please go there to settle all sorts of issues like travel forms and video consent. For presenters, it's very important that you come here in the break before your session to upload your presentation. We really need to check that. And then for everybody else, the workshop is for free, but we would of course highly appreciate if you would contribute nonetheless. And you can do this by paying your share for the coffee breaks, which is €10. So you will join the club of the colorful sticker people, without which you're unfortunately not supposed to get coffee. There's also a list of lunch places at the welcome desk. And here it's very important, please be on time after lunch, I beg you. We don't have much flexibility with the schedule because it's very dense. So I would recommend going in small groups. That's always a good recipe for being on time. Also, there's the cafeteria downstairs, which has a couple of seats available. So some of us might be lucky to get a lunch there. It's like 20 to 30 seats there, and it's a decent lunch. Okay, so that's it for the practical stuff, and I think now we can get ready for the first keynote address.